Let me ask you a direct question. Why are so many people still sick even when taking medication properly, getting annual exams, and monitoring with various specialists? Today I will show you the root that almost no one sees. It is no longer just a symptom at the end of the story. It is the beginning of the film. It is the point where health starts to be sabotaged silently. And when you understand this, it changes the way you eat, sleep, expose yourself to light, and breathe. It changes how you take care of yourself and those you love. I am Edu Rodriguez. This is the EDU Health Tips channel, and I will speak in the first person because I live this firsthand and in real life practice. Educational, simple, practical content for you to apply today. It does not replace medical consultation. Any medication adjustments or specific strategies should be aligned with your doctor. Conventional medicine usually steps in when the score is already 3-0 against you. It sees high glucose levels and gives a medication. It sees high blood pressure and gives another. Cholesterol rises, more pills are added. The pain doesn't subside, a third medication is added. And so, the person ends up carrying a bag of bottles in their purse, having breakfast with pills. It's not a lack of goodwill from the professionals, it's the design of the system. The problem is that the disease didn't originate there. That is the end of a chain of events that started years earlier in your daily life, in your choices, in your environment. So what is root number one? It is the mismatch between the body we inherited and the world we create. Our organism was shaped over thousands of years in an environment of real food, fasting periods, sunlight, movement, darkness at night, contact with the earth, and beneficial microbes. In just a few decades, we changed everything. Food available 24 hours, ultra-processed foods dominating the shelves, artificial light until dawn, screens inches from our faces, sedentarism, air conditioning, water, and utensils with chemicals our grandparents couldn't even pronounce. The body remains the same, the environment does not. And when the environment changes too quickly, the body pays the price. Think with me. Most people eat 6, 7, 8 times a day. It doesn't give the pancreas a break. Insulin stays high trying to handle so much refined carbohydrate and disguised sugar. On the outside, tests may even seem acceptable for a few years. On the inside, the vessel walls suffer. The liver accumulates fat. The intestine inflames silently. Glucose fluctuates like a roller coaster. Sleep shortens. The brain misses out on deep nighttime repair. Waking up tired becomes normal, and no one is born to think that's normal. Now change the lens. Instead of asking, what medicine do I need? Ask, at what point did I become out of sync with my biology? When I ask myself this question, the answers are very concrete. Leaving the kitchen lit up like a stadium at 11 p.m. was ruining my sleep. Waking up, opening the window, and getting some sun on my face for a few minutes changed my morning. Reducing dinner to finish digestion before bed removed that weight in my stomach that I was pretending not to notice. And when I cut out ultra-processed foods and returned to simple cooking, my body gave me mental clarity and energy. This is not theory. It's what happens when we return to the environment where our body functions well. There is a technical point I like to explain simply. The health of the endothelium, the thin film that lines the inside of the vessels. When it is protected, blood pressure is better regulated, blood flows with less friction, the risk of clots decreases, and inflammation is reduced. When it is damaged by chronic high glucose, excess ultra-refined seed oils, poor sleep, and continuous stress, it loses its ability to signal dilation. Nitric oxide plummets. Arterial stiffness increases. Blood pressure stubbornly rises, and the person thinks it's age. It's not just age, it's the environment. And the gut? It is the command center of many things. Fermented foods like natural yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and homemade pickled vegetables restore diversity to the microbiome. This diversity trains the immune system. When we spend our lives cleaning everything with scented products, boiling the entire house, and eating sterile and ultra-processed food, the immune system loses its repertoire. It will react where it shouldn't. Allergies spike. The gut becomes irritable. The skin shows signs. And later, the person asks, where did this come from? It comes from the impoverishment of the internal environment. Have you ever noticed how light commands your body? At night, the blue screen of the phone pressed against your face tells the brain it's noon. Melatonin, which should rise to signal deep repair and toxin clearance in the brain, doesn't rise properly. So we sleep briefly, superficially, wake up exhausted, and compensate with more caffeine and sugar. It's a cycle. And I honestly tell you, the day I decided to dim the lights 90 minutes before bed, keep the room dark and cool, and wake up at the same time every day, my mood, hunger, and energy became more predictable. The body loves predictability. I want to bring this into your routine in a way that empowers you. Imagine your next 4 weeks as an environmental reset. Wake up, open the window, and let the morning light touch your eyes from the side for a few minutes. Without staring directly at the sun, breathe through your nose. The air enters filtered, warmed, and humidified, which already calms your nervous system. Before coffee, drink water. If possible, prepare a 10 to 15-minute walk after your main meals. It's simple. Blood sugar levels drop less, digestion flows, and the body thanks you. On the plate, think about building true satiety. Enough protein, healthy fats, and vegetables of different colors. Replace refined vegetable oil used daily with olive oil, butter, or good quality pork fat. Remove white flour and sugar from your routine during the week. Reserve one day for a conscious exception, without guilt, but without making it a rule. And observe. A body that regains the feeling of fullness does not ask for snacks every hour. A body that stabilizes glucose experiences fewer hunger attacks, irritability, and mental fog. Want a shortcut I use and recommend to many people? Establish a feeding window of 6 to 8 hours during your best time of day. It can be from noon to 6 p.m. or from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Those who use insulin or hypoglycemics need to coordinate with their doctor. Those with a history of eating disorders need a different approach. But for most people, giving rest to the pancreas and intestines is a gift. In the first week, you feel the old habit wanting to speak louder. In the second, the body begins to understand. In the third, sleep improves. In the fourth, clothes fit differently and the mind clears. Edu, what about Supplement X? And YT? I like to keep it simple. If the foundation is crooked, any capsule becomes a crutch. If the foundation is solid, some reinforcements make sense. Magnesium helps relax blood vessel muscles and improve sleep. Vitamin D is a huge gap, responsible sun exposure, and, when necessary, adjustment with guidance. K2 helps direct calcium to the bones, not the arteries. Fermented foods nourish the microbiome. Pure cocoa rich in flavonoids gives a boost to the endothelium. But none of this replaces what you do with a fork, feet, and light. At some point, someone will tell you that there's no time, that it's difficult, that it's not sustainable. I look into that person's eyes and ask, what's harder, cooking simply 3 times a week or living with a pile of medications that fix one issue and cause another in side effects? What's more expensive, a basic water filter and a stainless steel pot, or repeating tests and increasing the dose because the foundation was never addressed? The conversation changes when you take control of your environment. And please, don't fall into the trap of all or nothing. 1 step at a time, consistently, beats 10 perfect steps for 2 days. Here in the middle of the video, I make a request. If this content is truly helping you understand where to start, like now and share it with those you love. This pushes the video to more people who need to hear this warning. And if you're new here, subscribe to EDU Dicas Desad. I am Edu Rodriguez, a pharmacist, biochemist, and diabetes educator, and my commitment is to translate science into your daily life, without alarmism and without magical promises. I want to leave you an image to close. Think of your body as an old, well-built house that needs proper maintenance. Painting over the infiltration won't help. You need to fix the roof, open the window to let in sunlight, replace the clogged pipe, throw away the moldy items, and air out the rooms. The number 1 root of chronic diseases is precisely the infiltration of the modern environment into this house. Too much light at night, wrong food all the time, less movement, too much screen time, insufficient sleep, chemicals everywhere. When you realign the house with the climate it was made for, it stops leaking, the paint lasts longer, and you start wanting to be in it again. Here's what to do. Tonight, turn down the lights 90 minutes before sleeping. Tomorrow morning, open the window and go for a 10-minute walk. At the market, read labels and avoid anything with a long list of ingredients that looks like a chemistry class. At home, set aside a jar of natural yogurt to accompany lunch and a dish of roasted vegetables to make dinner easier. Set a fixed wake-up time every day, including weekends. And please, give this commitment for weeks. Then come back here and tell me what has changed in your energy, your sleep, your mood, and if you measure in your numbers. If you're already on this journey, comment on what was the most powerful change for you. If you're just starting today, tell me what your first step will be. I read the comments and use your questions to record the next videos. And if this video has awakened something important in you, send it now to the family group. There's always someone there who needs a little push in the right direction and doesn't know where to start. I'm Edu Rodriguez, and this is EDU Health Tips. Thank you for staying with me so far. In the next video, I will show you how to create a template day that fits sleep, light, nutrition, and movement without having to turn your routine upside down. Click on the video that appears next and come with me to take the next step.